This is an excerpt from my book, Traveling the Wilderness Road. On this leg of our journey on the Wilderness Road, we will explore the route in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, and end our tour in Middlesboro, Kentucky. From the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park entrance sign in Lee County, Virginia, stay on US 58 West for 1.7 miles and enter Tennessee. Continue on US 58 in Tennessee for 0.2 mile. Turn right onto North Cumberland Drive and travel 0.5 mile. We will re-enter Virginia briefly, then return to Tennessee. If we would like to tour Gap Cave, which was once known as Cudjoe's Cave or Cudjoe's Cavern, we will stop at the Daniel Boone parking area. Tickets must be purchased at least 15 minutes in advance. Schedules and pricing are available at the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park website at www.nps.gov/CUGA. Turn right onto Penland Street and go 0.2 mile. Turn right into the parking lot for the iron furnace. Here we will find what remains of the structure known as the Newley Iron Furnace. This foundry, originally 30 feet high, is considered one of the last examples of a cold blast charcoal furnace. It was in operation from about 1820 until 1880, except for the Civil War years. It was here that limestone and iron ore were heated by coal and converted to pig iron, which was then shipped to factories. The furnace was located here because of the resources mentioned by Dr. Thomas Walker in 1750. A trail from the iron furnace leads up the mountain to the saddle of the Gap. This is the exact place where the trail passes through Cumberland Gap. The distance from the iron furnace to the saddle of the Gap appears to be 0.6 mile. If we decide to hike the trail, be aware that wild animals inhabit this wilderness. We'll see signs along the way that explain the history of the Gap and the Tennessee Trail leading to it. Also, if we look closely, we'll see the remains of an inn where travelers would stop on their journey. If we turn left at the Gap and head up the trail to the Tri-State Peak, we'll see the DAR monument that was put here by the Daughters of the American Revolution. Farther up the trail, we will see a big hole in the ground where retreating Union troops destroyed all their armaments and explosives which were stored here rather than let them fall into Confederate hands. The explosion was so great that it formed this hole in the ground. We will also find a structure built at the exact spot where Tennessee, Kentucky, and Virginia converge. A sign indicates this was the royal colonial boundary of 1665, meaning surveyors established this spot as the far edge of the American colony. Settlers weren't supposed to go any farther west than here. Back on Penland Street, return eastward the way we came in. Go 1 block, then turn right onto Brookland Street. Stay on Brookland Street for 0.2 mile. If we have time, we'll browse around the town of Cumberland Gap. It is charming and has some quaint little shops. Reenactments of Civil War engagements are held here annually. After passing underneath the railroad bridge, the road name changes to South Cumberland Drive. Follow South Cumberland Drive for 0.7 mile to the intersection with US 58. Turn right onto US 58, then immediately keep right at the fork. Follow the signs for US 25E North, Middlesboro, Kentucky. Merge onto US 25E North and travel 2.1 miles. We will pass through the Cumberland Gap Tunnel. The tunnel is 4,600 feet long and was completed in 1996. The state line is atop Cumberland Mountain, so when we emerge from the tunnel, we will be in Kentucky. Take the National Park Visitor Center and Craft Shop exit on the right. Follow this road to the Cumberland Gap National Historical Park Visitor Center. The park's Visitor Center houses a museum with interactive exhibits, a book sales outlet, an auditorium with 2 high-definition films, and Cumberland Crafts, which showcases handmade crafts from the region. We can also get our national parks passport stamped if we have one. The Visitor Center is open daily from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. It is closed on Christmas Day. Leave the Visitor Center and drive the winding 4-mile-long Skyland Road up the mountain to the Pinnacle Overlook. There are historic sites and scenic overlooks along the way. If we don't stop at these on the way up, we'll be sure to visit them on the way back down. When park staff is available, shuttles to the overlook can be arranged. The shuttle costs $5 per person. Skyland Road is periodically closed during the winter due to inclement weather. The road is closed to vehicles 20 feet or longer in length. At an elevation of 2,440 feet, we will get a spectacular view into Kentucky, Virginia, and Tennessee. By the time Kentucky had become the 15th state in 1792, an estimated 70,000 settlers had followed the Wilderness Road through the Cumberland Gap. As many as 300,000 settlers traveled along the Wilderness Road from 1775 to 1810. In addition to its human traffic, the trail provided a route for farm produce intended for sale in markets closer to the coast, as well as goods and supplies to supply the growing western settlements. At one point on the walkway to the overlook, we will cross into Virginia and be able to stand in 2 states at once. As we descend from the Pinnacle on Skyland Road, use a lower gear to reduce wear on our brakes. After arriving back at the Visitor Center, follow the signs to US 25E North into Middlesboro. The Middlesboro Basin's sunken landscape provided plentiful water for immigrants, but was also infamous for its swamps that delayed pioneers traveling along the Wilderness Road. During the late 1800s, scientists who studied the region concluded that the basin resulted from erosion of weakened layers and subsequent ponding within the basin. Additionally, it was thought that the basin occurred due to the collapse of a small dome, which was followed by settling and ponding. In 1962, other interpretations of geologic mapping revealed it to be the site of an ancient impact. Confirmation of this theory came in 1966 when shatter cones were found around the central uplift area. Analysis of sandstone samples led to the discovery of shocked quartz. Middlesboro has the distinction of being one of the few cities in the world built inside a meteorite crater. Although the original trail continues to Boonesboro, the auto tour route ends here. Thank you for traveling the Wilderness Road with me.